What happens to dreams when you're finally safe? I used to dread going to sleep, not because I couldn't sleep, but because I knew exactly what would happen when I did. Every night, without fail, I entered a place that felt like another reality layered on top of this one. But I was still in a place where I could feel pain. I could taste things. I could smell. I could hear. I could see everything. And there was no waking up when I wanted, and there was no rest. There was only surviving the night. This is One of the Bow Breaks. I am your host, Alexis Erilin, and today we are talking about PTSD, nightmares, and what happens when the war finally ends. So, what are PTSD nightmares really? For a long time, I thought nightmares meant that something was wrong with me. No one else in my family seemed to have them. I thought maybe I wasn't able to heal myself. And as I got older, I thought maybe I wasn't doing trauma correctly. I thought my brain was broken. But PTSD nightmares aren't random. They aren't symbolic riddles and they aren't a punishment either, even though they friggin' feel that way. What these types of nightmares are, they're called threat rehearsals. That's basically what they are. Your nervous system knows that danger is ongoing in your life. I was in ongoing danger growing up. And even if I wasn't in active danger, the environments that I was in was feeding fear into me. I was being fed fear in church. I was being fed fear at home in order to comply with my abusers. So my brain was doing exactly what it was designed to do. It was preparing me. My brain was freaking preparing me. And I had like end of days nightmares where I melted into the lava. I had nightmares where I got shot, where I could feel it. I had nightmares where I was euthanized, where I watched other people get like crazy psycho drowning, like you name it, everything. I feel like I've died a million times already with all the nightmares that I had. And I had these nightmares as a small child. I could not make this up. I don't know how my mind could go into such detail about it with these nightmares with me never having experienced any of that in my waking life. I'm still fascinated by the nightmares that I had. But anyway, these nightmares were trying to prepare me over and over, night after night. There was no off switch. It didn't matter what I did or what I didn't do. I had nightmares. Uh, PTSD nightmares are repetitive. They're immersive. This is why they wake you up shaking, sweating, gasping for air. They're fully sensory. Pain in dreams is real pain. You're actually feeling it. Your brain interprets pain. Pain is the message that your brain sends that something is wrong. So even though, like if I had a dream that I was getting stabbed, maybe there was nobody physically actively stabbing me, but I still had the pain from it. And I have had a C-section, guys. I actually do know what it's like to be sliced open, okay? Just so we're clear on that. Years later, I had a C-section. It's like, yeah, I felt this before in a nightmare once. So recovering from a C-section was almost like, oh, I know what to do. I felt this before. Jesus, my dreams were seriously really that painful. My body still carries evidence of years of interrupted sleep because when, I would stay up so late until I was just exhausted and would just fall asleep because I was too afraid to go to sleep. And if I could fall asleep, I was constantly waking up from all the nightmares. And as soon as I would fall asleep, there'd be another one, another episode, another show, different channel, same bullshit, another, terrible nightmare. But my brain refused to stand down. Here's the part that matters most. My nightmares didn't stop because I healed enough. Okay? In fact, my nightmares stopped very early on in my healing journey. And I'll tell you when they actually stopped, okay? My nightmares stopped when the danger ended. The danger that I was experiencing from my religion, actual danger, when the danger that I was experiencing from my family, all of those nightmares stopped when the danger ended. They stopped when I stopped talking to my abusive sister. They stopped when I went no contact with my parents. They stopped when I deconstructed from the cult that I was raised in. Because I did all of those things kind of pretty much simultaneously in baby steps, but they all suddenly stopped. It's just like one, for as long as I can remember, I had nightmares every single night, all night, every night, all night. I would cry and scream and yell and like I couldn't stop. And then one day, all that just stopped. One day, all my suffering just stopped because I got myself somewhere safe. When I severed ties with my abusers and deconstructed from my faith, when the spiritual and relational threats were removed at the same time, my nervous system finally got the message. Okay, you're not trapped here anymore. Excellent. We can stop these drills now. They didn't fade. They didn't soften. They ended. Boom. A fucking miracle. And it wasn't Jesus, guys. It wasn't coincidence. It was plain biology. Here's the cost that people don't talk about. Before the nightmares stopped, they were brutal. I've mentioned this already. I didn't just lose sleep, I lost trust in rest itself. I am still building a relationship with rest. Even though my nightmares are gone, I am still learning to trust rest. Going to bed used to mean bracing for impact. Literally. Staying awake meant delaying it, but it was also harming my body. That kind of sleep deprivation changes you. I was going through this while I had small children, guys. Think about parents, think about your most sleep deprived moment. Imagine it being 100 times worse when you're already not sleeping. You haven't slept for fucking years. And your husband thinks it's way more important for him to get sleep. I was there, okay? No sleep for years. I had less and less and less and less and less and less and less of it the more kids I had. And the nightmares were getting worse before they got better. It affected my memory. It affected my cognitive thinking. It affected my daily functioning. It affected my body. It affected my bowels. It affected my pH. It affected my emotional regulation. It affected my immune system. It affected everything. Being in these abusive situations and systems and relationship dynamics were harmful to my health. So when I say nightmares are serious, I ain't fucking around, folks. They're actually serious. Nightmares, don't take these lightly. There's a reason why they're there. Okay? These aren't bad dreams. You're in survival mode with the lights off. That's what this is. So when my nightmares ended, something else happened. I didn't just stop dreaming. I mean, maybe for a few days because I was just fucking exhausted. But my dreams, they changed tone. They didn't just change tone. They changed timelines. They changed different reality, totally different, totally different dimension. My nightmares went from being the source of my pain and chaos to like becoming calm and exploratory and curious and fun, safe. I run around town in my dreams at night. It's fun. I go to the grocery store. I say hi to people. I don't know these people really in my dreams, but in my dreams, they're familiar to me, like they're safe. Sometimes I'm walking through unfamiliar places. Sometimes I'm traveling. Sometimes I'm just present. And sometimes I have a stick. This is funny. I want to share this with you because it's funny. When I first started having good dreams, I think I may have shared this before, but I had a dream where it wasn't a bad dream, it wasn't a nightmare, but there was some sort of conflict and I was in control in the dream and I had a stick in my hand. And I remember just telling the person, "No, no, like don't come closer. Like I'm sticking up for myself." And that's what the dream meant for me, that I was sticking up for myself. I had the stick in my hand. I wasn't attacking anybody with it, but it was like a nonverbal sort of boundary. And I remember saying, "I'm sticking up for myself, like, you're not going to bother me." Began to create that safe space for myself in my waking life, and then that gave myself permission to experience that in my sleep life. That whole other half of life that we live while we're resting at night or whenever we sleep. I wasn't hiding in my dream. I wasn't running from anything. There was no threat that would have caused me pain. I stood my ground. I'm sticking up for myself. I thought it was such a cute dream and a funny dream, and my kids were very aware of the fact that mom had nightmares. Very aware. My kids knew, even though they didn't understand as children, they knew mom doesn't sleep good. It was a regular topic of discussion. Mommy's always tired. Mommy's always trying to take it down. Moms are always tired, right? I was tripled, quadrupled, 10 times tired because I already had been having these nightmares since I was freaking born. And don't remember I didn't remember a life where I ever had nightmares until I walked away from all those things. And now when I was telling my kids this dream, they were celebrating with me and they even acted out the dream. They played all the characters and it made me laugh and I was also crying because I was really appreciative of the fact that they were there celebrating with me and it was just so funny. My psyche finally trusts me with boundaries. I grew up a little bit. I was no longer under the power of these pastors and these abusers. I was able to protect myself and had established my own boundaries. Even now, though, like I can feel it. Like there are places in my dreams that I'm still not allowed to go yet. I can have very lucid dreams and walk around and be like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's this? This is interesting." I've walked into like a control center in my dream and I've had a woman there slam the door in my face, like, "You're not allowed to be in here." Like, wait a minute, this is my dream. I've argued with people, this is my dream. I want to go in here. Like, this is my. But there are still places that even my dreams will not let me go because there are memories that are protected. There are rooms I don't have keys for. My brain is still working for me. My brain is still doing, even though the nightmares are gone, my brain is still working for me, to protect me, to keep me healthy. That used to scare me, not having that level of control. I wanted to know everything. I wanted that closure. I wanted to remember things that were fuzzy, that you block out because they were so terrible. I wanted to know all that stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, I really don't. I'm in a safe space now. That is all that matters to my body. So I understand things differently. What's guarding me in those dreams isn't fear, it's timing. My psyche is prioritizing stability over completeness. I don't have to know all the answers. My body wants me to be stable and happy and healthy. My psyche opens doors. It opens doors when opening them won't undo like safety that I worked really hard to build. When I'm ready for that information, I'll remember it, just like all the other things that I came to remember again. It's not repression, it's intelligence. When your brain blocks you from certain things and certain memories, it's not just because you're afraid. Your body is protecting you from things that it doesn't think you need. So you have to learn to trust yourself. I want to say something clearly, especially if you're trauma informed, trauma curious, or trauma surviving. Lucid dreaming is not the first step for healing PTSD. That is just something that like I worked at and practiced, lucid dreaming. The first step in healing your PTSD is safety. Awareness isn't enough. You can be aware of the fact that so and so are bullies and they're just doing it to hurt you and they you don't have to believe what they say and sticks and stones, let it roll off the back. But we all know that your nervous system doesn't work like that. Your nervous system is taking all that as threats and it's not good for you to constantly be around that. So you need to get somewhere safe. You can't out hack a nervous system that believes that you're in danger. Sorry, your nervous system is smarter than you. Trying to force lucidity before safety is established. It can it'll re-traumatize you. Uh, it will re-traumatize you. It could set off your depression again. It can put you in a place where you don't need to be yet. Uh, a lot of social media completely ignores that, if you've noticed. There's a lot of social media that goes around encouraging people to push yourself to, it's like, no, even my therapist, like, you don't need, if your brain doesn't think it's important, it's fine. We don't need to touch it. Your brain knows what to do with it. You need to have external safety to help with these dreams, these nightmares that you want to kind of get rid of. You have to have internal authority. You have to take charge. You have to be the person with the stick in your hand, say, I'm sticking up for myself. I'm not going to remain in this toxic situation, even though it's scary to think of a place that's unfamiliar. This isn't good for me. I know this isn't good for me, and I think I can do better. Then awareness, after all that, if your psyche invites it, if your psyche's like, yeah, okay, you want to get safe? All right. Well, maybe when we get safe, we can relax a little bit and I'll give you some. Get to a safe space. If you're still unsafe in your waking life, your dreams are not going to be the place to go exploring. You won't want to do that. Trust me. You fuck around and find out with that one. I'm not going to go into depths with that one. I've done that. Practiced lucid dreaming because I practiced lucid dreaming before I got rid of the nightmares. I thought I could go straight from having nightmares to go lucid dreaming and then just change my nightmares and save the day. But no, I had to get somewhere safe before my brain would give me permission to do that. They're like, you're not keeping yourself safe. We're trying to tell you you're in danger and that you need to get somewhere safe in your dreams every night. Hello? Finally, you got the message, and okay, she got the message. Now we'll give her something. Now we can give her permission to explore her dreams a little bit and have some fun. I fucking earned it. I didn't conquer my nightmares. I made them unnecessary. And that was the mistake that I was making for a long time in my healing. I thought that I could just have the willpower to change my nightmares in my sleep. I had to get rid of them. I had to get rid of the need for them. I needed them. I didn't know I needed them. They were warning me that these were bad people and these were bad situations that were harmful. I mean, they were relentless, these nightmares. They had a job and they were relentless. I used to just be so ashamed and embarrassed that I had nightmares, and now I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that my body did all that work for so long. It knew that it needed to get away. And when the threat ended, the nightmares, they stayed true to their end of the deal. They stood down. They're like, all right, we're done. Excellent, we're done. They weren't like, oh, well, what if she again, what if she relapses? No, they just stopped the nightmares. They're done. We don't need them anymore. She got somewhere safe. She stopped talking to those people. She did everything she could to get herself safe, and she's safe now. I wasn't weak. I completed my survival. All this time, I thought I was weak and I was ashamed of my nightmares, but really they were protecting me. They were keeping me safe. They were warning me. They helped me. And once I finally got it, that, oh, these people aren't good for me. Oh, this situation isn't good for me. This organization isn't good for me. This church isn't good for me. None of that's good for me. This person isn't good for me. Once I was able to acknowledge all those things, plus take the action of stepping away from all of that, it was a done deal. I didn't need the nightmares anymore. It was amazing. I didn't know that until after I experienced it. If you're someone who dreads sleep, I want you to hear this. Your nightmares are not betraying you. They're trying to protect you the only way they know how. And when safety becomes real, not imagined, not forced, not spiritualized, not prayed for, when safety becomes real, when you actually get yourself safe, your dreams will change. Not because you commanded them to or because you prayed them away, not because you got angry and practiced lucid dreaming for like 6 years, but because they can. Your dreams are going to change because they can. You're going to get yourself in a safe place where you have that permission. It's going to be amazing. If you want to talk about dreams, you've got something to share, send us an email, wtbbpodcast@gmail.com.